Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. So this is the third video of this lesson, Patol Babu Film Star. The first two videos, I had explained you the whole chapter. I hope you all understood it. Okay, so in this video, we will be doing the question answers and the exercises. And children, please, these question answers you have to write in your classwork copy. I hope everyone has made the copy. So you have to write the question answers in the copy, and the exercises, you have to do it in the book only. No need to copy it in the copy, fine? So only question answers in your classwork copy. So let's begin. Okay, so the first question is, what is the role in the film that is offered to Patol Babu? So what role was he given? I hope you all remember he was given the role of a pedestrian. Na? The role offered to Patol Babu by Naresh Dutt was that of an absent-minded, short-tempered pedestrian. Absent-minded, forgetful, and short-tempered, one who gets angry very easily. So this was the role he was offered. Okay, question 2. I really don't see why I should say no. Do these words reflect Patol Babu's excitement about the acting opportunity? Why is he trying to hide his real feeling? Now remember, I really don't see why I should say no is the answer which Patol Babu gives to his neighbor. When he asks, yeah, I think I suppose you will do this. So he says, no. Why should I not do it? Why will I say no? So the question is asking, do these words reflect Patol Babu's excitement? Do they show that he is very excited? And if he is, then why is he trying to hide his real feeling? The words do not reflect the exact excitement that Patol Babu feels upon receiving the offer to act in a film. Deep down, Patol Babu is jubilant. So the way he says is, I really don't see why I should say no, shows that he's not very much excited. If you're very excited, he would have said, yes, I will do. So he's not trying to show that he's really excited. But on the other hand, he is inside, he's very much jubilant. Jubilant means very excited. This is the first half of the question. The second half is, he was trying to hide his real feeling because he didn't want his friend to see that this was a dream come true. And simply, he does not want to look over enthusiastic like a child. So he was trying to hide his feeling because he didn't want his friend Nishikantu Babu to see that he is really very happy. He as happy as a child. You remember? He skips after he goes away and he jumps with excitement. So he didn't want to show this excitement to his friend. Why does Patol Babu have to give up acting? How did he feel about it? Which line in para 11 tells you that? So this has three parts. So the first part is, why did Patol Babu have to give up acting? Patol Babu gave up acting in 1943 when there was a sudden dismissal in his office due to the Second World War. There was a war, cut down हुआ था office में, like we are having it now because of the circumstances. So that time also in 1943, because of the war, people had to leave their offices. That is why he had to give up acting, because he didn't have the job, a permanent job, and he was hunting for jobs. How did he feel about it? He had tried every means of earning a livelihood without ever succeeding. Patol Babu regretting having to give up for acting. Obviously, his passion was acting, and when you have to give up your passion, you really feel very bad. So Patol Babu also regretted it, having given up acting. And which line? The line, acting had become a thing of the remote past, something which he recalled at times with a sigh. With a sigh means regretful, when you say, oh God, I had to leave, now I can't dance, I'm old. So I had given up dancing, I had given up singing because now my throat doesn't work very well. So these lines show that he was regretful that he had to give up acting. Fourth one, a member of the shooting crew tells Patol Babu, just think how crucial the shot is. Is the shot crucial? Why does he say so to Patol Babu? So again, it has parts, and I have given the answers in parts only. So the first part is saying, a member, just think how crucial the shot is. Is the shot crucial? First look at the shot, and everyone will think, no, it was not a crucial job. What a small little job character he had to play. Just an oh, he had to say, somebody who comes and bangs his head and then goes away. Not a very good uh, character he had to play. No? So a member of the shooting crew, Jyoti, comes up and explains to Patol Babu what role he in his film Demanded. He describes that he has to act as a pedestrian who gets hurt in the head by Chanchal Kumar and says, "Oh," on being hurt. But Chanchal Kumar pays no attention to the pedestrian and goes into the office. Patol's Babu role was insignificant to the entire film. Insignificant means hardly any role. It doesn't make any difference to the film as such. Patol Babu would just be a supporting crew, and the audience perhaps would not even notice him. He was just a supporting actor. When we go for the film, we only watch the main actors, and the theme also we remember only. We don't remember what the small one, the maid or the servant who comes in or the peon who comes in says, hardly makes any difference. So Patol Babu's character or the part in the film was insignificant, not a very significant. Why does he say so to Patol Babu? Jyoti says so to convince Patol Babu that the part he would be playing is of importance to the film. This would perhaps make Patol Babu take his role seriously. So Jyoti tries, this young man tries to convince Patol Babu that no, your job is very important, your shot is very important, your character is very important. Why was he trying to convince him? So that he acts properly and does the work nicely. That is why. Okay, B. Read these lines from the text and answer these questions. A play invokes the work of many, and it is a combined effort that makes the success of the play. Remember this? This was said by whom? Who said these words to Patol Babu? His mentor, I think. These words were advice given to Patol Babu by his mentor, Mr. Prakashi. Fine, his mentor had told him, no, you don't have to worry about big role or small role, and you have to worry how you do that role, how you perform. How was Patol Babu feeling when he remembered these words? Why? At first, Patol Babu was feeling deeply dejected on being given an insignificant role in a movie where his only dialogue was "oh." But when he remembered the word of advice given to him by his mentor, he felt a bit more hopeful. So when he remembered the words of his mentor, he was encouraged to act properly and do his work properly, because whether the role is big or small, it hardly makes a difference. The difference which makes is how you perform. Mr. Prakashi has told him that combination of small and big roles make up a play. So he started rehearsing his dialogue in different rhymes and tone. How did these words help Patol Babu become a sincere theme player? Mr. Prakashi, Patol Babu's mentor, had advised him to take every role seriously in a play. He had said that it is not one main role, but a combination of roles that make a play successful. On remembering Mr. Prakashi's words, Patol Babu stopped feeling miserable about his role. He started rehearsing his dialogue with firm commitment. This is how he becomes a sincere team player. So the mentor also tells him that it is not a big or small role, it is the combination of big and small roles, of big and small characters, of actors, that makes the play or the film successful. So don't think that yours is a small role and maybe Chanchal Kumar or any other actor had got a bigger role. It is a combined effort of all the film characters that make the film or the play successful. So this gives a boost to Patol Babu, and he is egged on that yes, he has to do something. His role is not small. He has to do his job very well. The true actor could make a mark with just one syllable. What syllable is Patol Babu referring to? What discovery did he make about the syllable? Patol Babu is referring to the syllable O, his only dialogue in the film he was offered to act in. So this was the syllable he had to say. Remember the sound. He tried saying "oh" with despair once and again with sorrow. He realized he could make a mark in the film with this single syllable. So he after rehearsing, while he was rehearsing, he tried to say "oh" in different tones. So then he realized that okay, even on "oh" with an "o," he can make a difference in the film. How did Patol Babu use this discovery and make a mark with his acting? While rehearsing, Patol Babu came up with an idea to make his acting look more natural on the screen. He asked for a newspaper. Baron Malik, the director, provided him one. The shooting began and Patol Babu walked down the pavement only to bump into the hero. His head banged sharply with Patol's Babu, and for a moment, Patol Babu saw stars in his eyes. Then he slowly gathered himself, and with perfect blend of surprise and irritation, he said, "Oh." He seemed so natural that the director complimented his acting skill and said that he was quite a actor. So how did he make a mark? He made a mark by convincing himself first that he has a big role in the film and he would make a difference, and then doing the job to a very perfect one. Fine. So, and both the director and remember Chanchal Babu also congratulated him that he has done a brilliant job. Did you think this made him a true actor? Why do you think so? This did make Patol Babu a true actor, even though he bothered him initially. Bothered him initially means when he got the role, he was bothered, he was confused, he was irritated that oh, this is the word, this is the character which I have to play, just a passerby and just oh. He took the small and the insignificant role in his stride. In his stride means उसने लिया नहीं नहीं मैं ये भी कर सकता हूँ, and made it a point to give it his best shot. He rehearsed his dialogue and came up with ways to make his acting look natural. His performance was enthusiastic and natural, so much so that the director took note of it and complimented his acting skills. True to his mentor's words, Patol Babu did prove that every role in a film or a play was important in making the whole thing complete. So, with his work, with his determination, with his dedication, he made that small role also look very good. Read the text again and answer these questions. Jolly good. Why? You're quite an actor. What does this line tell you about the film crew attitude towards Patol Babu? Now, these are the words which was said by the director. So, what does these words or these sentences tell us about the director? Can you find more such examples of the crew behavior? Do you think crew would have behaved differently if they knew Patol Babu background? Now, there are so many questions in this question, so we'll do it part-wise. The crew was encouraged and enthusiastic about every single actor present on the set of the film, no matter how insignificant their roles were. From the beginning also, Bita, you will see that the crew was very helpful. And at the moment Patol Babu came on the screen, that road where they had to do the acting or where the film was being shot, he was offered tea. He was not just made to stand in one corner and was not talked properly. Everyone tried to encourage him. So the crew was really, really very helpful. The crew shows immense patience while dealing with Patol Babu. They were very patient. So many of them tried to tell him, no, no, you can do this. Your role is very significant one. Even when Patol Babu felt dejected means irritated, sorrowful, sad about his role being a minor one, chota sa, the rest of the crew members like Shashanko and Jyoti cheered him up. They said that he might as well consider himself as an extremely fortunate to have bagged a regular speaking part in the film. The crew probably would have given him a few more dialogues if they knew of his acting background. So maybe if they knew how well he acted or how good an actor he was, they would have given him a more good, bigger role or with more dialogues. Look at the title of the text, Patol Babu film star. Does this mean that Patol Babu was like a typical film star? In what ways do you think Patol Babu was a star? Do you think the tone of the title is mocking or sincere? Patol Babu was not a typical film star. Typical means full-time, he was not a film star. It was just his passion, a hobby. He wanted to do it. He was not a well-known face in the industry, but he was passionate about acting and has tried his hands in theatre. He had never been in a film, so when he got the chance to play a part in a film, he was overjoyed. The next part, Patol Babu was seen rehearsing his dialogue over and over again to make himself look more natural. He asked for a prop before the shot. Prop means something which is helpful in acting. That prop was the newspaper he wanted. When the shot was over, Patol Babu was praised by the director for his effortless performance. The fact that Patol Babu did not shy away from delivering a single dialogue gave him and gave his absolute best makes him no less than a star. So at the end, everyone applauds that he had done his job very nicely. Just a single verse dialogue, but then too he has done his best. So this was the last question. Okay, now okay, so there is one more part of this question. That last one is it. Do you think the tone of the title is mocking or sincere? Means it is mocking means joke bana raha hai ya it's a sincere one. So the answer to this question is the title is not mocking but sincere. It hails Patol Babu as a film star and nothing else. Even though he is not a full-time actor or a celebrity actor, he had the spirit of one. So they are not mocking. They are not making a joke. But Babu also thought in the beginning, you know, they making a joke out of it. Means just giving me one single word to say. So at the end we come to know that they were not mocking him. It was it that character was important to the film, and he had given his best. So Patol Babu at the end came out with flying colors. He gets uh, appreciation from everyone around, and he is so much overjoyed that he hardly takes the payment which is made to him. So this was the last question, Bita, and I hope you will remember I am not doing appreciating the text. Every lesson we are not doing that. Fine. Okay, so with this we come to the end of the question answers. Now we have the exercise. Okay, the first exercise is circle the adjective phrase in these sentences. Now, adjective phrase, है ना? Phrase, I hope everyone remembers, clause and phrase. And adjective means something which you describe. Adjective is a describing word, है ना? So, supposing I say beautiful painting. So, beautiful is adjective. It is describing the painting. Now, when we say adjective, it is just one word. But when adjective phrase means it's a combination of words. Like I can say, um, the new album which was kept on the table was a beautiful one. So which was kept on the table is an adjective. Adjective, actually this is a clause, but you can understand it's a phrase. Means adjective phrase means it acts on as adjective. Okay, like we'll do the exercise and you'll come to know. Okay, the first one is, this is the highly successful and record breaking track from his new album. Okay, so this is the highly successful and record breaking track. Now here, track is not the track on which you run. Here the track is the track of the album. Album means the song album and a recording. So here the track is the noun actually. So the track has been described by what? The describing words of the track is highly successful and record breaking. So this here is the adjective phrase. Okay, now phrase will not have a subject and a verb. So it does not have a verb and it does not have a subject. So that is why it's an adjective phrase. So adjective phrase works like an adjective, only it's 2, 3, 5, 6 words. Track is the noun. So track has been described by these words, highly successful, record breaking. Okay, that is why it's an adjective phrase. Moving on to the next. Her book, having enriched the lives of millions, is poised to win the prize. Fine. Now, the first thing we'll have to do is we'll have to see the noun. Okay, in this, the noun can be this name of the prize can be the noun, and the noun is the book. Okay, now is this book has been described by what? Book को describe कैसे करा गया है sentence में? तो book को कैसे describe किया हुआ है? Having enriched the lives of millions. These are the words which is describing the book. So that is why it's called an adjective phrase. So this is the adjective phrase which is describing the book. In the previous one, it was describing the track. So track is a noun. So describing words are always used with the noun, like beautiful painting. Painting is a noun, beautiful is the adjective. Fine. Now the third one. I slept for most of the really tedious and exhausting flights to New Zealand. Okay. Now first we'll have to find the noun here. Okay. So noun can be New Zealand, proper noun. Any other noun can you find here? Yeah, there's a noun. I is a pronoun. Noun is flight also. But flight is a common noun. No, flight, udan. Now, what are the words which are describing the flight? The flight was tedious and exhausting. थका देने वाली थी, है ना? Tedious and exhausting, really tedious and exhausting. The flight is the noun and the adjective phrase is really tedious and exhausting. ये उसको describe कर रहा है, flight को describe कर रहा है. Flight कैसी थी, उड़ान कैसी थी, सफर कैसा था? Tedious and exhausting. We enjoy classroom activities involving drama. Okay, we enjoy classroom activities involving drama. कैसी activities we enjoy? Which involves drama. तो activities कैसी थी? जो drama involve करते थे, जिसमें हम drama करते थे, play करते थे, है ना? Involving drama. So involving drama is describing the activities. Carefully prepared according to directors, his recipe should be perfect. Carefully prepared according to the directors, his recipe should be perfect. Okay, recipe means the way you cook something. तो उसकी रेसिपी कैसी थी? जो केयरफुली प्रिपेयर्ड थी, जो उसने केयरफुली प्रिपेयर करती. तो रेसिपी को क्या डिस्क्राइब कर रहा है? केयरफुली प्रिपेयर्ड अकॉर्डिंग टू द डायरेक्टर्स. जो उनके डायरेक्टर्स ने जो भी उनको प्रिपेयर करने को बोला, वो रेसिपीज वर परफेक्ट. I have very beautiful and vivid memories of my great grandmother. Okay, I have very beautiful and vivid memories. किसकी memories? Grandmother की memories. और memories कैसी थी? Memories थी very beautiful and vivid. Vivid means alive. अभी भी याद में ताजा है, मुझे अभी भी याद है वो memories, है ना? तो मैं छोटे में कैसे दादी का हाथ पकड़ के घूमती थी या कहानियां सुनती थी, है ना? So very beautiful and vivid memories. Okay. Children, by mistake I have circled memories also, है ना? So please, memories is the noun. Fine. So it is only very beautiful and vivid. Just remember in this sixth one, it is very beautiful and vivid. Memories is not in the circle. Please do remember, make that correction when you do in your book. Sixth one, I have very beautiful and vivid memories. You just have to circle very beautiful and vivid. They are the describing words and they are describing memories. By mistake I have made, when I was making this PPT, I have done it. No? So sorry for that. Please do the seventh one. Last week I met my friend's uncle, a truly excellent singer. Now this one is easy. I hope everyone can do it. Uncle कैसे थे? है ना? Last week I met my friend's uncle and that uncle was how? He was a truly excellent singer. These are the words which are describing uncle. He was a very good singer. Some people, being quick and clever, always have their ways with others. Now this one also I hope everyone can do. People, how were the people? They were quick and clever. They are describing. So people could describe, correct? Being quick and clever. So just the only thing you have to remember, noun को क्या चीज describe कर रही है? पहले में track को क्या describe कर रहा है? Highly successful and record breaking. Then the second one, book, having enriched the lives of millions. Then flight कैसी थी? Really tedious and exhausting. Then activities कैसी activities हम enjoy करते हैं? जो drama involve करता है. और recipes कैसी थी? Carefully prepared. Then memories कैसी थी? Very beautiful and vivid. Then how was the uncle? Uncle was an excellent singer. So these are the words, these are the phrases which are describing the noun, which is right in next to it. And how were the people? They were being quick and clever. They were quick, they answered quickly and they were clever, intelligent. So with this exercise is over. Okay, we move on to the next exercise. I hope you have understood this one. Okay, the next exercise says combine these separate sentences into a single sentence with a relative clause of the kind indicated. Okay, now relative clause or adjective clause, beta. Okay, now in the previous exercise we had done adjective phrase. Now in this we are doing adjective clause. Both are same. Adjective clause and phrase is same. The only difference is clause will have a subject and a verb and phrase will not have a subject and a verb, but the work is same. Adjective means they are describing the noun. In that also it was describing, but it will, that the part, the words which are describing will not have a subject and a verb. And here also they are describing, but they will have a subject and a verb. Like I gave you the example, the man who is standing near the tree is my father. Now who is standing near the tree is describing the man. So here it is the adjective clause. Remember, we had done one exercise in some lesson in which that, which, who, they are known as adjective clauses. And they begin with that, means they are describing a noun. So once again, adjective phrase and adjective clause are describing the noun. The only difference lies in the phrase and the clause. The phrase part, adjective phrase part, will be describing, but it will not have a subject and a verb. And the adjective clause part will be also describing, but it will have a subject and a verb. Okay, so relative clause means the adjective clause only. Fine. Okay. Now, this river is called the Kaveri. It has seen a lot of history on its banks. Okay, now they have given you two sentences. We have to combine both these sentences so that we get a adjective clause or a relative clause. Now, in the bracket, they have given non-restrictive. There are two types of adjective clauses. One is non-restrictive and one is restrictive. In some books, these non-restrictive and restrictive are also called defining and non-defining also. Okay, so non-defining and defining and restrictive and non-restrictive are the same. Okay, some books says this and some books says the other. Now, non-restrictive means, beta, the basic difference between restrictive and non-restrictive, we keep a comma. Now, in non-restrictive, we put a comma after the subject. Like if I use the same example which I gave you before explaining this exercise, the man who is standing near the tree is my father. Fine. So if I say the man, comma, who is standing near the tree, comma, is my father, then because I'm using commas after the subject, the man, and after standing near the tree, it becomes a non-restrictive clause. Okay, but when I say without the comma, like I say, the man standing near the tree is my father, without any commas there, then it becomes a restrictive. Fine. So the only difference for now you can understand, there is also a very big difference which you won't understand if I explain you just now. So the only thing you remember is the non-restrictive clause will have a comma after the subject and after the describing thing. Okay, so like say, supposing I take another example, the teacher who is tall is the teacher who is tall is also very beautiful. Fine. So the teacher, comma, who is tall is also very beautiful will be non-restrictive because I have used commas here. And if I say this whole sentence in one go without stopping, commas means you have to stop. The teacher who is tall, who is beautiful or whatever, fine. The teacher who is tall. Okay, so when we have a comma, we have to take a pause. So when we take a pause, it becomes a non-restrictive one. So here we have to make a non-restrictive sentence. That means we have to put somewhere a comma. Okay, so here, see, the river, comma, which has seen a lot of history on its banks, comma, is called the Kaveri. So which has seen a lot of history on its bank is the adjective clause or the relative clause. Okay, so commas are there, that is why it becomes a, so both the sentences have to be combined with a relative clause which has to be non-restrictive. Okay, second, the red bike belongs to me. That is the bike she borrowed from me. Now those sentences we have to make into one. Okay, so now it has to be a restrictive one, beta. Okay, so the red bike that she borrowed belonged to me. Now there is no comma here, so that is why it becomes a restrictive clause. In the book you will get the bracket after the second one. Okay, in the book the bracket is there. It's a restrictive one. That is why I have not put the comma there. Otherwise I would have put the comma, the red bike, comma, that she borrowed, comma, belongs to me. So ban jayega non-restrictive. Okay, the third one. Juhu Beach is very crowded at all times of the year. It is quite nearby. Now, non-restrictive. So the first thing that strikes is it has to have a comma. So Juhu Beach, comma, which is very crowded at times of the year, is quite nearby. So describing वाला part जो है वो noun के पास आ जाएगा. तो Juhu Beach को क्या describe कर रहा है? Which is very crowded at times of the year. जो बहुत crowded at a crowded beach है. Okay. My grandfather continues to be active. He's 75 now. Non-restrictive. Non-restrictive means comma. Okay, so my grandfather, who is 75 now, continues to be active. Fine. Now, beta, there should be a comma here after grandfather. Fine. So please put a comma after, in the fourth one, my grandfather, there should be a comma. Sorry, I missed it. Fine. Put a comma there, everyone, please. Fourth one. Fifth, the passengers had their seatbelt fastened. They escaped. Now, this is restrictive, means no comma. The passengers who had their seatbelt fastened escaped unhurt. So, no comma, so it is restrictive. And the last one, that athlete had to leave the field. She was disqualified. So, restrictive means again no comma. That athlete who had to leave the field was disqualified. Fine. So, the athlete who no comma is there. So, first thing, the comma is there. It is non-restrictive, and the comma will come after the subject and after the describing thing, after describing words. And when it is restrictive, the subject will come, the describing words will come, and the last part of the sentence will come. Okay. So mostly the relative clause or adjective clause will have that, who, which. Okay. Now in this also, beta, the fourth one, please correct it. My grandfather, comma. There should be a comma there. Fine. The fourth one. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. Now words in use. This is the next exercise. Find the words or phrases in the text that means nearly the same. Now, this also is the same, what we did in the last lesson, also in the first lesson also. The phrases are given here. You have to find the words there in the lesson, in the text. I have done it for you here. So, refuse someone's request or offer, it means turn him down. It's there in the lesson. If you want, you can search. Needed or wanted by many people, in demand. Earn the money you need to pay for housing, food, and other everyday necessities. Make a living. Okay, the fourth one. Make your situation in life better. The answer is improving his lot. A person who has been made to look ridiculous, laughing stock. Becoming more important or famous, rising young executive. Extremely painful, anguish, painful. And large amount of time and effort that someone spends on something, dedication. Now this exercise beta can come as one word answer also, you know? So please learn. By maybe in the test I can give you as one word answer. Fine. So with this we come to the end of the video and the exercise. There's one more exercise in your book which I'm not doing. You don't need to do that exercise. So only you have how many? 1, 2, and 3 exercises. Fine. And please remember that there was a mistake in the first exercise, A exercise, there was a mistake, and also in B. I have told you there. Please do the correction. I'm very sorry for that mistake. And thank you everyone. With this we come to the end of this video. Hope you have understood what I've tried to explain, and still if you have any problem, you are welcome to ask. So bye for now everyone. Keep safe, be healthy.